Binary events are important to keep in mind as a trader since they have the potential to greatly impact your positions. These events have two possible outcomes. Everyone knows it is coming, but nobody knows the direction. The aftermath of these events tend to lead to an immediate reaction from the market and the potential to have large moves in either direction. When approaching a binary event, the volatility of any trade goes up a lot. This leads to the prices of options increasing, as we talked about in the IV section, which removes the edge that you may assume you can get when trading binary events. The trades become very fair for both buyers and sellers because there is a greater expectation around the event. Binary events lead to big, quick moves after they occur, and this leads to your position either moving in the money or out of the money immediately after the event. Binary events end up being more of a coin flip than anything else, since traders can make predictions about what will happen and they can gauge market sentiment, but each event can end up in a surprise. There are a multitude of binary events that occur that specifically impact futures and thus the options on these futures. The following breaks down some binary events that impact various futures and some that impact a variety of futures. For most futures, unemployment rate announcements, GDP changes, monetary policy reports, and retail sales numbers are examples of binary events that impact a majority of futures. For the Euro-USD FX future, the European Central Bank, or ECB conferences, and flash sales PMI impact that. For the Australian US dollar, the Reserve Bank of Australia, RBA announcements, and cash rate release are two binary events that impact this currency pair. For the British pound US dollar, the Bank of England, BOE announcements, and the official bank rate announcement are binary events that impact this pair. For the yen US dollar pair, the Bank of Japan, BOJ outlook report, and the 30-year Japanese government bond, or JGB auction, are two that greatly impact this pair. For WTI crude oil, OPEC meetings, and especially the weekly petroleum status report are very impactful to the futures on here and the options on those futures. For gold, Federal Reserve announcements, and consumer price index release, which is related to inflation, greatly impact the futures and the options on those futures. And lastly, for corn, the USDA's planting intentions report, which reflects supply, and the USDA report, which reflects demand, greatly impact the futures. With binary events, generally speaking, volatility-based positions are the most popular types of trades to make. While you may not know the direction that the event will move the underlying, you can make predictions on the size of the move and trade accordingly. If you think people are overestimating the magnitude of the event, you can enter a short volatility position, such as a short iron condor. Conversely, if you think people are underestimating the magnitude of the event, you can enter a long volatility position, such as a long strangle.